Just unmute. Unmute.
We're good.
Good evening and welcome to Thursday night cricket. This Thursday evening sees the Leinster Senior Cup game between the 11 of Pembroke and the 11 of the Hills. We'd like to invite any of our viewers today, get in touch, feel free. Let us know your views on the game. The umpires are striding out to the middle now. I don't know who the other one is.
I don't either.
Joining me in the box tonight for this game, Amanda Dunlop.
Hello.
There we go.
Good evening.
Well, the Hills have won the toss and they've decided to bat. Pembroke will be in the field. Very strong Hills lineup tonight. Pembroke taking the field with 10 to start the match. Still waiting the arrival of Ava Dowling. Alva Dowling.
Alva Dowling.
Thank you very much. Well, last minute huddle for the Pembroke team. Happening just to the left of your screen. There it is. Listen to that. You just say the words here and the pictures appear. And the umpires are in the middle. Who else is on camera now? And waiting on the sideline, the Hills batsman. And my eyesight isn't good enough for that.
Oh, heavens.
It's very small here, isn't it?
It's our Goff, Rebecca. No?
So, yep, Rebecca Goff and Marianne Musunda.
So we have a sub-fielder coming on.
Marianne are entertaining Leinster. Phoenix are visiting Malahide. Clontarf are down the road in Claremont. The Hills are here with us. And then Balbriggan women's seconds are playing Merion thirds. And that's this evening's cricket in Leinster. In Pembroke, it's a busy evening this evening, as well as this Senior Cup first round game. The Leinster Cricket Leinster AGM is on, or
Yes.
EGM, or
No,
FGM.
it's an AGM. It's more of a financial meeting than an AGM. There's no election of officers or anything like that. It's just, it's purely financial.
So we'll be able to tell from the looks on their faces when they come out from the clubhouse whether the finances are in a good place or not.
And we will have tag rugby also going on the junior rugby pitch at some point.
This time of year, it's a full ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it'll be Rebecca Goff to face the first ball here tonight. I looked at the picture and decided it was absolutely spot on and not to say anything else. Loads of encouragement, loads of clapping, and finally the umpire says, play. Oh, down the leg side for a wide ball. It's not the start that Pembroke would have wanted.
Okay. Yes. Hannah Little opening the bowling from the St John's end.
That's a much better ball outside the off stump. It's sort of squirted away off the outside edge of the bat. Emma Mullin recovers her own misfortune. And that will bring Miriam Masunda on strike. For those of you who don't already know, Miriam Masunda isn't one of the Skerries Masundas. She's actually the Zimbabwean women's cricket captain, and she's doing very well at the Super Series at the moment. As I said earlier, possibly the possessor of the longest hair in Leinster cricket. And I just see off to our left the 11th player for Pembroke, just waiting at the gate for the end of the over. Super delivery that from Hannah Little. It shaped away, I thought.
Well, one feels it must have been close, judging by Hannah's reaction.
See this again here in a slightly blurry way. And yes. Yeah. I know where the camera was focusing, and it does it automatically. This one was more on Musunda's legs, and she has clipped that away very nicely. Doesn't try to overhit the ball, just times it through the mid-wicket region, picks up the first boundary of the innings. Another. Anna Bill with a fine bit of fielding, prevents the single. Another good ball from Hannah Little. Let's hope that she's now found her groove. Stella found her groove. Isn't that the movie? I think it's important for Pembroke to get early wickets here tonight, if these two get settled.
That's well fielded by Emer Mullen. And yes, we had rained off, rain affected rather league match against the Hills, which they batted first and put up a lot of runs in a very short space of time.
For some reason, the figure 88 is in my head.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's Molly Botterley, who was sub-fielding. She's now left the field, and Dowling has now entered the fray. Just looking to see where Susie Whaley is fielding. They've got it right out on the boundary. Yeah, she's there now.
Yeah.
They're making a run the length, near or 3/4 of the length of the ground. She was down in the Willfield Gate
Oh, right.
annex. There we go, from boundary to boundary.
Boundary. No, this is Lulu Little.
Both little bowlers. Well, they've both represented Ireland. Good first ball. That's some train coming down the line.
Gosh, there's a lot of carriages in that one.
That's for all the office workers in Wexford. Commute there from Dublin.
Oh.
Super delivery, that one. That was tailing back in towards Rebecca Goff's leg stump. She managed to dig it out. All round, you look in a scorebook, it'll just be a dot, but it was much more than that. Many thanks to our scorer tonight, Grahamy Mooney. He's doing the live scoring, providing those scores on your screen. Well, this looks to be a different game to the one we saw earlier in the season. Well, firstly, it's not teeming down with rain. Good to see Kieran Sharp on the ground tonight. I believe he's home for a week. There's only so much havoc he can wreak.
Oh.
And while we're giving shout-outs, we're trying to ignore the wide that umpire signalling. Best wishes go out to Barbara Musgrave, who's currently down the road in the...
I think she's home.
Oh, she's home now,
Yeah,
yes.
she's home now. Recuperating.
Recuperating and watching cricket, whilst Philip rushes around making dinner, hoovering and doing the washing. Okay, Barbara's just split her stitches. And of course, Mary Sharp is in.
Not sure if she's still in St. Vincent's, but... or recuperating elsewhere.
So no matter where you are watching from, and do let us know. Good ball. Good ball. Rebecca Goff could do nothing but get a straight bat behind that. Yeah, get in touch with us on either on Twitter, because that's the easiest one for me to operate. Facebook's just Mark Zuckerberg. Anyway, enough about that. Mind you, Elon Musk is no better. There has to be something else we can do. But yes, get in touch on Twitter. My Twitter is @CraigPCC. The imagination of a meerkat. That's a super over.
That's a very good over.
Just the one off it, I think. I think the score at the end of one was 6. Well, oh look at that slither of blue sky up there. And I was just about to say it's completely overcast. Well, this is the one thing I have noticed about Marianne Masunda during the Super Series. If you can keep her quiet for a little while, there is a tendency to go chasing. And I think that's something that she will work on over the coming weeks as she adjusts to Irish pitches. But a couple of times I've seen her charging bowlers.
So she's a little bit impatient.
I think it's less her impatience and more the ball takes longer to get to her.
Ah, okay.
So she feels she needs to go and put some power onto the ball, etc. And unfortunately, that's been her downfall. As you know, Irish pitches, the ball doesn't come up perhaps as much as she's expecting.
Yeah. Or
And it
she's
just
used
goes
to.
in under the bat. That's a lovely ball from Little, and it's
Yeah.
well kept out by Masunda. That was a delivery you could have seen in a World Cup. I mean, it's amazing when you think about it. You've got Claire Shillington out there, who was the record caps winner before Mary Waldron, who's a wicketkeeper, took that over. Such experience and oh, that one just played out in the offside. It's another dot ball. This is proving to be quite a good start for Pembroke. Just that 1-4 so far. See, Josh is down this evening.
Yes.
Bit of exercise for Johnny.
That's a nice shot.
Just a single. Well, I have to say, I think Pembroke will be delighted with this start.
It's a somewhat cautious start.
That one's in the air. And again, the boundary rider doing a good job. Super job.
It's a wonderful arm.
Well, Barbara Musgrave has come back to us via the interweb. So I was right about the dinner. Oh, Niall, I've just died here, you know that? Everything. This, those. Oh, is it there right in the background? It's gone again now. Now it's back. Now it's gone. Now it's back.
It's like Christmas tree lights, is it?
Yeah. Are my indicators working? Yes, no, yes, no. See, there's nothing there. Now, there we go. There it is there now. And now it's gone. Oh. No, gone.
Do it yourself.
Is it just my headphones?
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I can live with that.
Still gone?
Yeah, no, that's fine now.
Oh.
Super delivery that. Getting a bit more bounce, bit more height, and Masunda was trying to cut it through the gully area, one felt, and just couldn't get about high enough to catch up with that one, and it flew through to Waldron. So yes, good to hear from you, Barbara. I'm glad to see the operation wasn't to take away your texting finger. After 3 overs, the score is 10. Oh, Masunda in a little bit of trouble there. I saw 4 innings of cricket on Sunday, 2 T20 games, and every single game after 3 overs, the score was 10, and it was here again today. It seems to become the par figure. Can you get more than 10 off the first 3? Well, we're now into the 4th. The score has moved on to 11. Oh, just getting that to come back in, and it's enough to upset the bat. The sound of chocolate-covered raisins, bought from Aldi. Yay!
Yeah, they weren't.
Little. I apologise. Little do the best chocolate-covered peanuts and raisins. Mick Ford having no truck with that. Straight away, wide ball. Well, not too much sign of the sun up there today, and yet it was such a lovely day during the day. And when I arrived here, it was a beautiful day. Well, the good thing about that ball, and that one just went straight on, Good thing about that was, A, the bat was playing for the swing. And B, it went through at a good height. Well, the hordes seem to be arriving now for the Leinster AGM, Cricket Leinster AGM today. That one flies through to the keeper. Umpire calls over. We get to the end of 4, and the score has moved on to 12. Well, this is a much improved performance by Pembroke compared to the league game. Different side, of course. Different day. I do believe Peter Prendergast is wearing a new hat. I've not seen a green hat before. In fact, I've not seen him look that colourful before. Blues and oranges and greens and whites. And that's just his top. Ooh, umpire lets that one, lets her away with that.
Is it 4 or 5 overs per bowler in this?
I think in the Senior Cup, I think it... Oh, now you've asked the question. I'm stumped. Is it... I think... Finally, Misunda drives one. A little bit uppish, but she'll be happy enough with that. She picks up a single. That is a very good question.
It's normally a 5th, obviously.
No, yeah, but is it for the cup competition they want it to be the very best of bowling? And so they've made it four bowlers with 5 overs. There's some league or cup or something where it is 4 bowlers. But I'm going to stick my neck out here and say I think this is 5.
The lower divisions have fewer bowlers. So they're 5. Because Div 3 and 4, you wouldn't necessarily have 5 bowlers on a team. Or 5 people capable of bowling.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's the capable.
Yeah.
This time Rebecca Goff goes aerial through point. There was a fielder in front of point, and guess what? One just behind point as well, and it went straight between the two of them in the air at about shoulder height. New hat, Peter? It's this.
Yes. Loud and proud.
Rael Bettis. I wonder where that came from, Connor. No, we have some chocolate-covered raisins over here if you want some.
You want to be quick?
They're not going to last till the second innings.
They're not going to last a change of bowling, Craig.
Usually I commentate with people who don't actually know me that well.
Oh,
Big swing from Rebecca Goff this time. No run, no contact. End of the 5th over. Score on 15. Don't need to be Michael Clark to work that one out. But if Michael Clark would like to ring in and tell us what it is to 3 decimal places.
well, the reason I asked about the bowling was because if they're 4 is the max, at what point do you change?
Well, traditionally it was after 2, and yet these two are bowling their 3rd now.
Yeah.
Which suggests the Pembroke bowling is going head-to-head with the Hills batting.
Yeah. Okay.
We saw it at the weekend with Brigade. It didn't work out for them.
Well, it very nearly did.
It very, very nearly did. But perhaps in this case, Pembroke are thinking that they've got to put their best bowlers up against their best batsmen, and if you bowl them out, you bowl them out.
Yeah.
I mean, Lou Little is the skipper, and it's her decision, and it's her call, and no doubt she'll make that call. But there's enough experience out there with Mary, Claire, Hannah.
Yeah.
It's in the air. It's right up there. Zoe
Nope.
Bell underneath it. Couldn't quite get her feet back to it. One of those awkward ones where you don't know whether to stagger backwards a few more steps or you have to turn around and run. As it turned out, it was one she had to turn around and run, and she didn't. The ball hit the turf, and one more onto the total. So as well as Pembroke are doing in restricting the Hills at this stage, one has to say no wickets are down. Well, let's just play down to third. Shauna Kavanagh not appearing today for Pembroke. She's still injured. It's kept her out most of this season, actually, hasn't it?
Yes. She hasn't. I don't think she's even netting.
Well, the Irish women have a busy summer coming up.
Yeah.
The visit of Australia, the World Champions, and before that, and that's the bit I find strange, before that, they're off to the West Indies.
In the West Indies, are they? Is that in July?
I think so. Well, Malahide aren't hanging around. They're 49 for 1 off 4.5. YMCA at 47 for none off 5.2. Well, there's a few runs being scored out there tonight. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, we'd be delighted. Would you believe there's 602 subscribers to Pembroke Live now? It's great to see, and thank you very much to each and every one of you. Another one in the air.
It should be.
Oh. Isabel Jennings just out of position for that. Never had a steady base, really. It would have been a spectacular catch had she taken it. But you'd have to say it's two chances or two half chances. A chance.
That was definitely a chance. It's certainly more than the previous one.
While the umpire signals the end of the power play, the score has moved on to 21. Both bats on 9, just the 3 extras so far. And now to answer your earlier question, Amanda.
Yes.
Change of bowling.
Oh. There's one chocolate raisin left.
Still half a bag. Susie Whaley coming up into the circle. Off screen to your left, you can see Mary Walden on your screen directing the field up along the wall. That's Zoe Bell. She's out there patrolling away. One of the most distinctive bowling actions of all time, Annabelle.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So shoulder on,
Very effective.
front on, and gets a tremendous amount of whirl and turn and
Yes.
swing. Good evening.
Hello.
How are you?
Thanks.
This one's in the air.
It should
Ah, yes.
It's caught Lulu.
Captain Lulu leading by example. Lovely. There's many other letters, words I can think of that begin with L. So Rebecca Goff, she departs for 9 9 in the 7th over, and the score has moved now to 21 for 1, and that's a good wicket for Pembroke just at the right time.
And then that's Australia.
Yep, West Indies first and then Australia.
The West Indies.
Well, Rebecca Goff leaves the field having given her side a decent start, 21 off 6. But she went after Anna Bill's bowling, and all she could do was loft it out on the offside, and Captain Lizzle, well, she took a fine catch, made up for the other 2 half chances. That one wasn't going to find the turf.
That sounded so weird.
And
Kind of scooter whizzing past Dougal
especially,
and Hamish.
yeah, because we have stereo. Big shout, first ball, and she's got her. That's 2 in 2 for Anna Beale. Tahila done.
21, I think.
Well, Noel's gone off to focus up his replays, I think. He's gone off to do something anyway. Well, that's a super passage of play for Pembroke. 2 wickets in 2 balls. Here it is. Well, she pretty much is adjacent there. I don't think she could have too many qualms about that. Any chance we could replay it again?
Just the last angle, I presume.
Yeah. Right. She's gone across her stumps with both pads. Well,
Okay, so
LBW.
hat-trick ball for Anna. I've seen an awful lot of hat-trick balls in the last couple of weeks. And only 1 converted.
Graham Mooney.
Yep.
That's the first one that comes to my mind.
Nick Stapleton.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, he had 3. Yeah,
Well, he converted his.
he converted 1 of 3.
Yeah.
So, number 4.
Oh.
Amy Maguire. I've seen Amy play a few times this year, having been at a couple of the Super Series games. And that's fine cricket. Good cricket to watch as well. It's good to see the president of Pembroke on the ground. Accompanying Peter Pendergast and another one of his laps. And running up behind them, I see Kieran Sharp. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sharpie, how are you, sir?
Hi, Sharpie.
Good to see you. No, we'll catch you later. Yeah. Bowling change at the other end. I suppose the first bowling change worked so well. Why not make another one?
Farry Nickel.
Well, Mariam Masunda facing Very Nickel. And this is the 8th over. Wow. Well, that was a good first ball. That just seemed to leap off a length. Oh, another good length from Nickel. Masunda could only dig it out, but she's starting to feel a bit of scoreboard pressure now, I think. 7 overs gone.
22 on the board.
As the late, great Richie Bello would say. What's the score on the board now?
Not Johnny Bell.
22 for 2. This one a bit short, played round the corner. Well, the Hill's going to be looking to these two, not only to rebuild after a couple of quick wickets, but also to get some runs on the board. At the moment, the run rate they're at is going to get them to about 69, 70, and that won't be enough. So somebody's got to put their foot on the accelerator. Oh, there you go.
It's only as far out as Lulu.
And once they see it's Lulu,
Fires it back in.
sounds funny, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think.
The funniest one, and it's going to happen to you at some stage, is you'll be wearing these and a bee will go past those. And it will sound like it's inside your head with the headphones. And that will be the day that you just leap.
There's there for you.
I never take them out of the bag. And no, it's not a straight paw. Oh, another one goes up in the air, but there's no fielder in that area. They're going to get 2 for it.
Oh,
No,
and
she's out.
run out.
Well, the second one was always going to be a bit troublesome.
That's a great piece of fielding. I think it was Anna Beale.
Well, there you have it. Good evening. Good evening. Loving the jacket.
I'm not sure if that could have been Emer Mullen or...
It was probably Emer, actually.
Right.
But it was a super piece of fielding because she did it all cleanly and in one go.
Yep.
All it would have taken would be a fumble or a missed pick or a missed pick up as a chocolate raisin flies across the studio. But she did it all cleanly, and that left Maguire with a lot to do, and she was out for just 2, and this is turning into a very good game. If you are coming down, and please do, it's a lovely evening, but personally I'd suggest perhaps a jumper or gilet, coat, puffer jacket.
Scarf.
Any one of those should do. I'm not suggesting you come looking like the Michelin person.
So this is new batsman. Naomi Matthews.
Well, 3 wickets down. Pembroke have the Hills now. Still only 26 on the board, but the big concern for Pembroke must be Mariam Masunda is still at the wickets. Well, that's another good ball from Nickel. It's tacking the stumps, bowling stump to stump. Very much the old Michael Sharp principle. I'm sure it's everybody else's as well. Michael just nagged at me with it. Aim at the stumps. If they miss, you hit. So 26 for 3 at the end of 8. Yeah, she got off at a good pace. That's very tight, and the umpire's just stuck the finger up, and she's on her way. She seemed a little disappointed herself. Pre-season gets earlier and earlier.
It was Emer Mullen.
Look at that. Left-hand pick-up, right-hand throw. Accurate. Right to a keeper. Did everything she possibly could. And it was enough. There you go. Anna Bill still bowling from the St John's end. And Masunda will be looking for 2 here. And she'll get them easily. Little making sure that she didn't concede the boundary in an effort to get the ball back in quicker. Hit the turf. And Masunda picks up 2. Wonder how she's approaching this now. Is she approaching it as a sort of, my goodness, I'm running out of partners?
Well, you'd wonder how far down do the Hills bat.
Well, there's certainly that to it. There's no doubt about that. It reminds me a little bit of watching the ones on Saturday when Joe
batting at number 10.
Yeah, and Lorcan. And Lorcan had no worries at all about giving Joe the strike.
Yeah. He trusted him.
Never really liked watching people farming the strike or turning down singles.
I think Lorcan wasn't interested in...
I did say bring a jumper.
Yeah, Lorcan's only thoughts were winning the match. He wasn't particularly interested in his own personal score.
No. Well, Naomi Matthews now. Well capable, wielding the willow. Coming in at number 5. And at the moment, Anna Bill's bowling is accurate enough just to keep her busy keeping that out. Peter must have done a hell of a pace on that lap because he's burnt off 2 of his followers. They've stopped for a chat.
Collected someone with another green cap. Well, blue.
I think you'll find that's Brisbane Heat green.
More teal.
Yes. Strangest of colours. So I think that's 10 overs gone. 29 on the board, 3 wickets down. This is looking like much more like a game than the first one did before the rain interrupted it.
1, 2. This is the 10th. Yep.
This is the 10th?
Yep.
Or...
Hannah started at the far end.
All right, those are somebody's figures. I can't read that there. Very nickel. First ball. It's only punched out into the covers, and Claire Shillington isn't going to miss that. So 29 for 3 from 9. This is an excellent effort by the Pembroke bowlers. I wonder who our 5th bowler is today.
Oh, I was just going to ask. Did we determine how many? It could be. Would it be Zoe?
It could be Zoe with her off spin, or Isabel. Isabel Jennings took wickets, I think, recently.
Okay.
Susie Whaley, I wouldn't have thought so yet. Emer Mullen, perhaps. But of those we've mentioned, I think the most likely is Zoe Bell.
Yeah.
Now we'll watch as Lulu Little's selection of a 5th bowler makes me into a liar. Okay. It lasted 2 changes of bowling. Just played away off the pads. It's a single. I don't think Pembroke would be too upset at that. Any score under 35 from the first 10 overs, you've got to be fairly happy. It isn't warm tonight, is it?
No.
I know we're in the shade and everything, but... Good ball, but it's in the slot, and Masunda has played it out to long on, where it'll be fielded.
It's well in by Hannah Little.
Dowling might be the 5th bowler. I've never seen her before.
Neither have I.
Graham Mooney denying that he's a psycho. Once again, send in your tweets. Oh, that's just put back over her head. Naomi Matthews, no real great strength. Masunda looking for the second, but there won't be a second there. Fine fielding. Well, this is halfway stage. And the score is 36 for 3. Why aren't you out there?
Leaving cert. Come down for a break. Accompanying her dad into the bar.
Well, that's certainly one bowling option I hadn't thought of. Lainey Martin.
Kimberley is another one.
Yes.
She's also leaving cert. Anna Lynn.
Who also is a bowling option.
That's true.
Oh, this one, very good ball from Beale again. As you watch that action of hers, it is very distinctive, but you can see how she gets the swing. If I tried that with my shoulder, there'd be calls to doctors and...
Maybe all sorts of rotator cuff problems.
I'd be contacting all the experts.
But she's very effective, and she does get some movement.
Yeah. Susie Whaley, fine bit of fielding. Oh, I like that. Two-handed pickup. Firstly, if I try to pick up something with both my hands, I'm going to fall over. But she picked that up with both hands and got it back into the keeper very quickly. Fine fielding there from the youth. I suppose they learn the lessons they're taught by their elders, so that's got to be a promising sign. Good ball from Beale again. Looking, just searching for the edge of Masunda's bat. Masunda very late deciding to take her bat out of the way. Going slightly fuller with her length, and that just allows Masunda just to play it out to the cover boundary, where it's fielded, little to Beale. And we'll just give her. Just mute us there a second. Well, I suspect there's one very proud mum at home. Nicola Beale usually tunes into these games, if only to find out when to pick her daughter up. And her daughter this time, suffering at the hands of Masunda. She's driven it down the ground, and it's gone for 4. Straight over mid-off's head, and it had enough on it. However, that's 11 overs gone. Pembroke will still be quite delighted at the way it's gone so far. And here's the change of bowling.
Here's the 5th, and it is Zoe.
Zoe Bell coming on at the nursery end, or the clubhouse end, or the Sandymount end, or
Willfield end.
or the SMC end.
I think if SMC had his way, they'd both be SMC ends.
They are, though, aren't they?
But they are.
Because it's the slate screens. I'm still open to ideas. If somebody gave us the right sponsorship, we could spend the rest of the season calling an end after a sponsor, whether it be a name of a player or a company or an idea.
That would work.
Perhaps Ronan O'Gara would sort of give us a La Rochelle end.
Oh,
It's good fielding, but I suspect an injury at the same time, a finger bent back or something like that.
I think it's Claire Shillington, is it, out there?
It looks like it.
She
She's a little
may-
slow getting up. She's hurt her hand.
It may have just stuck on the ground as she fielded the ball.
Well,
I would hope that that doesn't affect her ability to bat.
Naomi Matthews now to face the bowling of Zoe Bell. 4-step delivery, plenty of air, and it's hit back towards us here in the commentary box. It's coming right towards us. And it lands next to Dougal. No electrical equipment was hurt in the making of this delivery. Fine shot, though, from Matthews. 50 up. Nicely late cut past the keeper. It's Anna Beale who's having to chase down there. And she keeps it to a single. But Naomi Matthews has come out. She's added a bit of impetus as the 50 comes up for the Hills in the 12th over. This one goes down the leg side. Masunda chases it round. She punches it out. Will Little get there? No, she won't. It's a boundary. Well, Zoe's struggling a bit here. That's not really a surprise. Zoe Bell here is bowling to the captain of a team that plays in the World Cup.
Yes,
It's got to be it.
And Zoe's only just doing a junior cert.
So it's a great one for Zoe. She'll learn lessons here. Well, that was well bowled outside the off stick. It has been played square. Emma Mullin. Well, they learnt their lesson about Emma Mullin's throw earlier.
No 2 to Mullen.
Naomi Matthews back on strike. This one just on her pads. She pulls it out square. Well, that's a hell of a throw. Wish I could throw that far still.
Yeah, she's a very good arm, Lulu.
So, 12 overs gone.
Little meeting of the minds out there.
These two have put on a decent partnership now, well in excess of 30 anyway, and it was just what the Hills needed. Naomi Matthews is playing a vital part here for her side tonight. Pembroke, wicketkeeper, captain, and voice of experience getting together for a little chin wag as well. And Annabelle now from St John's End will be bowling to Naomi Matthews, and we know that she's decided it's time to go. And straight away, straight down the ground, 4 runs. Super shot. Shot of the day.
So far,
Oh,
perhaps.
long way to go.
The sun has come out again.
Yeah, good job we're sitting in tents, really, isn't it? It'd be nice to be living in a country where you could actually set this up outside. Then you'd be looking for a tent for shade. That's a much better ball.
Yeah.
Well, it's decision time. Do you want to go and make the 2 cups of tea and leave me here, or do you want me to leave you here and I'll go make the 2 cups of tea?
I'll go make the tea. Oh, there's a shout for LBW. Turn down. I shall...
You shall make the tea?
Yeah.
Snarling beast behind me.
I don't think it was a snarling beast. I think it was just trying to breathe. It was a pug. Slightly out of breath pug.
Matthews again. She does like playing straight. Great to see. Masunda calls her back for the second. The throw is good, but not good enough. And they make it safely. Score moves on to 62. In this, the 13th over. Well, if they double their score from here on, well, yeah, if they double their score in the last 7 and a bit overs, they get up to about a run a ball.
We're just supposed to double your score after 10.
No, these days it's because people go big at the end if you've got wickets in hand, so it's usually
Yeah.
double from about the 13th or 14th onwards.
That would make sense.
62 for 3 then off 13, is it?
Yes.
That was a lovely shot. Annabelle did the right thing, started ducking. And Zoe Bell remarking up her run-up. Good to see the proprietor of Ed Sports on the ground this evening. I'm sure he's down for the cricket, not the Leinster AGM. Quite a few people turning up with books under their arms now. Oh, that's a bit high. Plenty of room on that. And it's knocked down to the Wheelfield Road end. They get 2 for that.
Looks like Barry Tucker marching down the wall.
The one with the books under his hand.
Yeah.
Plenty of room again from Zoe. Oh, she nearly got her that time. Well bowled by Zoe. Matthews almost foxing herself, I'd have thought there. Yeah, I was thinking about having a cocktail or gin and tonic or something, or a cider, but in the shade here, it's just cool enough. As Matthews again uses the long levers, and again, fielded by Little. And a good return, no 2 there. But this is the great thing about this game. Plenty of air again from Zoe. Oh, yes! Oh, my word!
And you know,
Drove it back. Absolutely drove it back, did Masonda. Zoe very bravely put her hands down for the catch, but instead it ricocheted from her hands onto the stumps, and if you're going to put down a court and bowl for a run out, that's the way to do it. You can see that's the ball before. Now Masonda's facing here. She drives it straight back. Zoe goes for the catch. It deflects onto the stumps. And Matthews knew straight away her bat was in the air.
Just as she was getting into her stride.
She was doing a super job for a team. Good drive, and well done, Zoe, for getting her hands down to that to start with, going for that catch. And it turned out okay in the end because it goes down as a run out. Well, that was just what Pembroke needed and when they needed it. And this, the 14th over. So I reckon, just a quick calculation, 21, 40, 45, standard 45 between Matthews and Masonda. And the new bat is, for those of you with the ability to read really small writing, Lara McBride. It's Masonda facing now, though. She's gone aerial and big. Shillington's coming round the corner. It bounces up into her hands. And she gets it back into the bowler. Well, that's over. 14 gone. 67 on the board. Maybe 68. 66 on the screen. 67 on the scoreboard.
They only ran one in that last one. They may have put two up.
Well, I'm sure one will catch up with the other soon enough. And there's the Pembroke bowling figures, for those of you wearing the right glasses.
Hannah Little has bowled 3, 0 for 11. Lulu, 0 for 13, off 3. Anna, 2 for 17, off for 4. Vary, I think she got 1 for 11. And Zoe, 0 for 17, off her 2.
And a run out.
And the run out. So 67 for 4. We're all in agreement.
Well, of those 67, Masonda has scored 27. She's looking to add to that total. Just takes a single down the ground.
This is Barry Nickel now coming on from the other end. Masonda is on 28.
Well, Amanda will take the opportunity of the fall of the wicket and 6 overs to go and make a nice hot cup of tea before the bar fills up with people. Get in there before the half-time rush. Very Nickel now. Drops one in a bit short, but she gets away with it now. Lara McBride just playing that out. Well, a bit like Pembroke's first on Saturday. As long as Masonda is at the wicket, they've got a chance of putting up a good score. But this has been an absolutely superb bowling display from Pembroke so far. 2 half chances have gone down, but they haven't ended up costing a huge amount. Harry Nickel just getting that one to just drift away from the right-hander's swipe. Another good ball from Nickel, and that's a good over. She's done a super job there. Well, there's an over left now for each of the littles. So the other three, well, one for Zoe, that's for sure, if not two. Zoe Bell to start this, the 16th over. She starts with one on the leg side. It's pumped out to the boundary. Captain Little out there, I think. Doing a super job. What is this I see before me? How are you, sir? And you too. Joined in the box here by old Pembroke head, Ian Thompson, Tomo, Thumper. And quite a few other names that people used to call you as well, isn't there? So how are you? Good, good. Good, good. It does, doesn't it? Zoe Bell giving this one a bit of air, and she's appealing because, well, I thought it came off the leading edge. It came off the bat, no reason to appeal there. Yeah, I've talked inside. Another one on the leg side, allows the bat, McBride, just to swivel on it and push it out to square leg. It will just be a single. Plenty of tag rugby going on in the background now. A few people have gone in for the Leinster Cricket Leinster AGM. But out here at the moment, it's all cricket. Well, you can see Masunda is feeling the pressure to get runs. She'll get two here, and that's handy enough. But what I want you to note is, if Niall will just replay that ball, it's all right, you can leave it till the end of the over if you want. Plenty of air again. Masunda. Slog sweep out to Shillington. Shillington does really well. Passes it on. And Hannah Little, best of luck with the exams.
Thank you.
Wasn't talking to you. Best of luck, lady. Well, you can see Masunda. She is chasing runs here now. She understands the situation. This one's down the leg side. Oh, look, she's played that at such a pace. It gets past the despairing dive of Lulu Little and goes for four. And these are all vital runs for the Hills. But a good over from Zoe Bell. She's done a difficult job in difficult circumstances. Lovely hair.
Gone.
I'm talking about yours.
Gone.
Brian Bannigan in, another one who's out walking his dog. I've never known dog ownership be quite so high in Pembroke. There's always been one or two around the place. Just loads and loads now. So, 4 overs to go. 78 for 4. And very Nickel. Finish off her spell, I suspect. Unless someone flies off the edge. Masunda comes through for the single anyway. No matter where that went, one had a feeling that Masunda was going to be looking for the run. Well, the Leinster AGM is underway. That is clubbed away out towards cow corner, all along the ground. The 4 is saved, only just 2 for that. That takes the score on to 81, and you can see how quickly the run rate can just start to shoot up. It's been at 3, 3.5 all the way through. At 10 overs, they were 36 for 3. And 6 overs later, they were almost 50 ahead. Well, this one's short. That will be punched away to the boundary. There'll be no stopping that. Well, this is where Masunda's class is starting to show. Anything loose, she is pouncing on now. Masunda has had plenty of time to play herself in. She's been out there for the best part of 10 overs. Another one that she can pull away on the leg side. Has she found the gap? She has. Great effort by Zoe Bell to get there. Couldn't quite manage it. Another boundary. Suddenly the score's up to 89. This time clubbed away on the offside. I don't even know why she's running for that one. That's another super shot. That's another 4. This has been an expensive over. It's her half century and a well-deserved half century of that. Out of a team's total of 93, Marianne Masunda, she has 51 of them. Well, it's going well for her. Summer in Dublin. At the moment, she's scoring all round the ground. Very hard to bowl to that sort of class. This time, the swing is too much. But they get the single, and that's what they wanted off the last ball of the over. Just 3 overs left now. 94 for 4. 16 coming off that over. So in this Leinster Senior Cup, it's the Sprint Leinster Senior Cup, isn't it? Give it its proper title, including sponsors. Zoe Bell then, she continues to Masunda. She's looking for that one to pull her out to the leg side. She's managed it. They're looking for 2. The comes into the keeper, and they make the 2 quite handily in the end. Yes, it was only 7.2 overs ago. The score was 36 for 3. The Hills have definitely had the better of it since then, since Naomi Matthews came to the crease. Masunda's there, and she's out-stumped. Zoe Bell has got out the Zimbabwean captain. She goes for a fine 54. She's done really well, but this time she came down the track to Zoe Bell. She missed the ball, and international keeper Mary Waldron wasn't going to miss that. And Zoe Bell has picked up the Zimbabwean captain. What a scout for her. .54 out of 94. What about it? Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. What a scout for young Zoe Bell to add to her collection. I'm sure she's a few at this stage. But there we go, that was an important one. Masunda out for 54, and the score has moved on to 94 for 5. Good high delivery from Zoe Bell. There's a little shriek out there of an appeal, but it was all on its own-io. Thank you for the tea. Good evening. It was a very good partnership.
You too.
Oh.
He's talking.
Swiped away on the offside. They go for the single. And there's another run out. That's good work. Isabel Jennings, Zoe Bell.
Fantastic.
Well, that goes to show that all the little practice catches and passes and all that work. And that's a superb run out. Again, clean pickup, clean pass, nothing over the top. Whose shirt are we wearing today? Tigers? Ah, BB. Yeah, I was going to say PBPL. Well,
And here
it was hit away on the offside, but it was clean fielding. Zoe taking up a good position behind, takes the ball cleanly and does enough just to remove the bails. Zinger Bales out there on use tonight. He's gone without you. Well, Molly Bottomley. Well, they're going everywhere for runs now. She's safely home this time. Is that? Yep. Definitely chasing every run they possibly can now. The message has gone out from the sideline. Zoe Bell not afraid to give it air, and it's proving very effective now. Well, 97 for 6, 2 overs to go. And with 2 overs to go, it's going to be the return of the Legals. Hannah and Lulu, both 1 over each left. Mary Waldron has now discarded the face guard. I think that's lacrosse she ended up with. She tried all different sports as face guards and...
It's a lacrosse one she has, is it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And they're nutters. I mean, they should be wearing an entire bodysuit made out of that stuff. Wrists and fingers. The amount of broken fingers in lacrosse is well, it's basically assault. Played away on the offside, and that's a fine shot. They could get 2 for that. They won't. Nice shot. That's what they want to do, just rotate the strike now. Get the Hills closer to that 100 mark. Very strong Hill side this year. Both of these sides will be wanting to progress. The Leinster Senior Cup, but it's a sign of how the standard of cricket in Leinster is improving all the time. So what good sides these two clubs can put out. I think the Super Series is a big help as well, being recognised for what it is, a stepping stone between full cap and club cricket, and it's bridging that gap quite nicely, I think. You always have to face good bowling. You always know that every batsman is out there to prove themselves. And a bit, oh. And a little just straying down the leg side. She won't be pleased with that. That brings the score to 99. This one flies off the edge.
Just for 1.
And appropriate that Susie Whaley does the fielding. It's youngsters all round on that one.
Yes, I'd say 107, perhaps.
Ooh.
If even that.
Well,
Given you were predicting a little bit higher
I was before the game, that was for
before
sure. It's a nice shot again, played into the space, looks for the second, makes the wise decision not to take it. But another run onto the board, and that brings up the 100 for the Hills, and I think they'll actually be quite pleased considering the way the innings has gone.
101. I've forgotten to add the wide.
Oh, super delivery. Well, she'd have done very well to get an edge on that. Just a super length. It was just rising the whole time. And it went past the edge of the bat, through to the keeper without harm or foul. Well, I really do believe that the Hills would have got another 20 or 30 had Zoe Bell not got Marianne Masunda stumped.
She wasn't stumped. It was
Bowled?
no, it was Matthews. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Yes, she was stumped. Yes. 101 for 6.
Wow.
Approaching the last over, which will be bowled by Lulu.
I suppose one twin had the honour of opening the bowling. The other has of closing it. What are you looking at me like that for?
Because they're not twins.
Okay.
They're sisters, not twins.
Okay.
Hannah is the older of the two.
Well, there you go. Good ball, but it's well dug out. It goes straight to the fielder, but not fielded cleanly, and that means they can get through for the single. Mary Waldron having to do a bit of work behind the sticks there to make sure they didn't take a second. Big open space behind her, not exactly a huge amount of backing up going on there.
Claire Shillington coming in to fill that space.
I don't think you should put a fielder somewhere just to cover the overthrows.
No, but there was a big gap anyway.
And that's caught behind. She's got the faintest of edges. Waldron doesn't miss that. She takes the catch, and that's now 7 down for 102 in this, the final over. Well, considering how much the rain managed to save Pembroke in the league game, this first innings has gone exceptionally well for them. There's been consistent wickets falling. 6 down now. Tara O'Brien now heading out to the middle. Well, the important things for the Hills here are they did have a couple of good partnerships there. Naomi Matthews showed that the acceleration is there. And they are going to bat the 20 overs. And a lot of their team are going to get the experience of walking out to the middle, picking up a run or two.
They are like Russian dolls, though. They're just getting smaller and smaller.
Well, a little more footwork, that's better. Move your foot. So, how many deliveries left? 2, 3, 3. Comes round, it hits her on the pad. Waldron makes sure no run is taken. Just 2 more balls to go. was just watching one of the crowd, Mervyn Whaley, walking around a small child, but the small child's head only just comes out of the advertising hoardings.
Oh, I see.
And it's like this bit of hair is just walking. It's like a squirrel who's going down the edge of the thing. And then suddenly, ta-da!
I presume that's Emmett's child, is it?
I think so. I don't think it's Mervyn's.
I don't think so.
They call her through for the single. That's very sensible running, very sensible calling. That is the last ball of the innings, the last ball of the over. As people get ready to run onto the pitch. For so many reasons, Gordon, no. Well, 103 is the final total for the Hills. 103 for 7 from their 20 overs. And they put together a fine few runs there. Mary-Ann Masunda, of course, accounting for over 50%, having got 54 herself. And despite a quiet start by her, she showed the full range, the full repertoire of shots, whether it was sweeping behind square leg or crashing it over the covers and all points in between. Fine knock, 54 runs, and it's given the Hills a total to defend of 103. At this stage, we as your commentators will let you read the cards, because I haven't got glasses that thick. And we shall join you again for the second innings in what I suspect is 9 minutes.
didn't do their duty. You coward or whatever. Why does that matter? No, I had a message. But I understand that bit, but then coming down here, that's rubbing it in, you know.
No, see, James and Carol, I was getting slack from Maria. I hadn't seen the grandson for I don't know many weeks. And I was at cricket I was up in really on Tuesday. I was in Fort Lodge.
I never watched that show. I knew what I was looking at. I used to present it. So I never got into it. But I get the very best. Yeah. He's on again now. See how my arm doing? Good. Don't see me there. Yeah. I came through there. It was like one more than next last night. Well, I was still barely walking on one night. I was in Norwood with sores for the function thing. Yeah, so it's hot. What? What's the upper? What's the
You could see the girls.
Oh, was it copy? I have it down as Stokes. Well, I saw the. No, I might. Yeah. You had one last week. Yeah. Graham! Catch! Standing umpire. Please, when you're ready. Let's go, Pembroke.
Stumps. It's on to the stumps. Yeah, it's got a stump on the
Welcome back to Sydney Parade for the second innings of this Leinster Sprint Senior Cup first round game between Pembroke and the Hills. Well, the story of the first innings, it's a quick story. On the batting side, Marianne Masunda scored a fine 54 and helped her side. She must have been in about 14 of the overs, and she helped her side reach a total of 103 for 7. And Pembroke will need 104 for victory. On the bowling side, you have to unmute your mic first.
My apologies.
Zoe Bell, 2 wickets and a run out.
2 wickets and a run out. And
Rebecca Goff to open the bowling for this second innings.
Mary Waldron to take the first ball with Lulu Little at the other end.
Mary Waldron, especially keen on stretching. She's the only player I see set up in front of the dressing rooms and go through a whole session of stretches and rolls and the whole lot.
Yeah.
Yoga poses, all helps keep her flexible. And she's now opening the batting for Pembroke with Captain Louise Little. Pembroke very much going for experience at the top of the order. And Rebecca Goff starts with a loose one outside off stick. Mary Waldron basically just threw a bat at that. It's kept inside the boundary, but it won't stop them picking up 3. And that's a fine start for Pembroke, and suddenly the total is down to 101 with 1 ball gone. I think that's the wicketkeeper.
Yeah.
Molly Bottley. We saw her batting earlier, and she's keeping wicket for the Hills tonight. Great to see youth getting a chance. This time Little plays it out in the offside, but she finds a fielder. It's not the brightest of evenings, it's certainly not the warmest. Now regretting having left my coat in the car. Well outside the off stick, the umpire agrees. He signals a wide. A very empty dart returning from break. Everybody's at home with their dinner. And hopefully their phone or their laptop or maybe even their really smart TV watching this game tonight. Another one outside off. Little goes. Keeper, well, Molly Botterini, it just slipped under her gloves and it slid away, and Waldron pounced on it and took. Did the umpire signal a bye?
I didn't see him signal. He must have done.
Yeah,
It hasn't been added to Lulu's total.
Yeah, but it hasn't been added to the score either.
What has? Was there a wide?
There was.
Oh.
This one played out in the offside. It's lovely fielding in the circle. Keeps it to a single. That's good fielding. Actually, if I should have attended that Cricket Leinster AGM meeting.
It was one of the quickest meetings ever. 21 minutes, start to finish.
I would have had a proposal for the meeting from the floor. My proposal would be that everybody has to have a shirt number.
All the clubs?
All the clubs who play here. In fact, Pembroke should probably supply gear to the away side. Here are your numbers. You're playing in Pembroke tonight. Too many sides, in my opinion, wear the dark colours, the dark blues, the blacks. I liked it when Australia played in canary yellow. New Zealand played in beige.
When did New Zealand play in beige?
In the first days of ODI cricket.
Really?
Yep, the Beige Brigade.
Lord.
They're the best shirts ever. The old beige. Ross, how are you?
Oh, it was Ross Garvey, yeah.
Ross Garvey just wandering around. He's been for a walk somewhere. Strange way to get to O'Reilly's, though. Well, while we're at it, we better do our...
Do around the grounds.
Well, I wasn't
Here.
going to do around the grounds.
All the other matches here.
No, wasn't going to do that either.
Okay.
Now, we'll wait until this over has started properly before I disturb your viewing. That one's beaten everybody. Bounced past the keeper. Waldron's looking for 2. She may get 4 for it. No, it's pulled up inside the boundary, and they do just get the 2. Well, that one took a bit of a bounce. No, 19th of August. There's a commemoration of 4 different teams in the club over the various years. And all in years ending in 3. This one, left arm spinner. It's getting a bit of turn, but more importantly, getting a bit of bounce. So they're commemorating teams from 1985. Yeah. 1983, 1993, and 2003. 40 years ago, 30 years ago, and 20 years ago. Amy Maguire picks up her first wicket, and Waldron departs LBW. Well, that's just what the Hills needed. Here we are in the second over. It's 8 for 1. Well, that was not what Pembroke needed. Waldron, and she's been in a rich vein of form recently. She's been getting runs in Super Series games. The first played a game out in Clontarf recently where she got 40-odd as well. So she's having a good season, but tonight wasn't it.
So Isabel Jennings is the incoming batter.
And well, the Hills get themselves sorted. You see that one? The big appeal. Wicketkeeper's not that interested. But the bowler was, and she got the decision she wanted. So yes, August the 19th, commemorating the third 11 that beat the fourth 11 in the Intermediate Cup final in 1983.
That's good.
They're commemorating the third 11 that won the Middle League in 1983.
Yeah. Calm down, like. Said 2 pints there.
Can you mute the microphones?
That's okay.
Well, I suppose one of the advantages of the streaming service is that players do get the opportunity to see their own dismissals as well as their run scoring. So it's Isabel Jennings in the middle now with Captain Lou Little. That's a super shot through the offside. It will be cut off by the boundary rider. Only a single for it. And a nice cricket shot nevertheless. So back to this dinner on the 19th. Yes, the thirds beat the fourths in 83 in a cup final. So those 2 teams, the third 11 won the Middle League in 93 and the fourth 11 who won the Middle 2 Cup in 2003. I might have been on that one. Might have been. So, if you are interested in attending, and who wouldn't be, the legends that are going to be at that lunch, Please put the date in a diary, and Johnny Bell will be in touch with us, and we'll be setting up, guess what? A WhatsApp group. Yay! Another one. Yay! WhatsApp groups. It's like Hotel California. Set up a group anytime you want, but you can never leave. This one just harmlessly going past. 10 for 1 after 2. Will this be a maiden?
So just going around the grounds, Marion scored 166 in their 20 overs for 5 wickets. Leinster chasing that, currently 22 for 1.
Tough chase for Leinster there, I'd
Yeah.
say.
Oh, well.
Oh, full toss. It gets past everybody. Molly Butterley gets enough on it that it only is a single. And he's signalling a no ball.
Do we have free hits?
And
We do.
he's signalling a free hit.
So they can change the field because they change it ends. Is that correct?
That is absolutely spot on. And you can see immediately they're bringing in the fielder from the offside boundary and putting one out in the leg side boundary. The tendency is in Irish women's cricket, the big hits go to the leg side, and this one does as well, but that one trapped between bat and pad, and it just squeezed out. So the free ball is a dot ball, but no further damage done.
So so that's a big chase for Leinster, chasing 166. And in Malahide, Phoenix are chasing 195. Somebody went nuts out in Malahide. And Phoenix are currently 5 for 1.
Well, all these games now just early into the second innings, hard to see. But 195, that's an awful lot, isn't it?
Well, somebody went mad in YMCA as well. They scored 187 for 3 in their 20 overs, and Clontarf are currently 17 for the loss of no wickets.
The way you were saying that, I thought you were going to say
So,
7 wickets or something.
No, no wickets gone. They're playing Clontarf, yeah. Oh, heavens. And that's got to be a no ball. That was a head height no ball. And is that our one?
Malahide, Bella Armstrong got 102
Oh, Lord.
off 56 balls with 17 fours.
So we have another free hit here. 102.
Oh, that's better. It's
That's much
hoiked out to the
better.
leg side. It gets to the fielder. She does well to stop that. That could have spun past her very easily. Just a single.
I think that's Amy Maguire on the boundary there.
Nobody in that Marion game went too mad. Marion getting 166, but the top score appears to have been 40.
Yeah.
And in YMCA, that was the other one you said there was a big score,
Yeah.
187. Well, who do you think scored a century off 65 balls in YM?
I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Gabby Lewis.
And wagering your €1, you get back €1 and 10 cents.
Freya Sargent getting all 3 YM wickets.
Another one who's shining.
3 for 29 off her 4.
She is absolutely shining in the Super Series.
She is doing well. She's a good player.
And has the potential to be a very good player.
Yeah. Well, she's just about to start her leaving cert, I think. No, she's just 5th year.
Transition year.
No, transition year is 4th year.
Is it?
Yeah.
Didn't have such a thing in my day anyway.
No, not mine.
Do you like Mary Walden's socks? You're not going to miss those in the laundry basket.
What, luminous green?
Yeah. I think I had a shirt that colour once.
You did. Can't imagine what happened to it.
Oh.
May have been deliberately lost.
Just clipped away on the leg side. They'll take the single. This is good bowling from Maguire. She's already picked up 1 wicket and she's causing a few problems. Another one who's benefiting from the Super Series, the Evoke Super Series. She's playing a trade at the moment from the nursery end. Oh, that's high. Umpire's going to signal a wide for the leg side. I think he's going to get away. She's going to get away with the no ball. I don't think it was that high by the time it went past. But it's a wide signalled. They also ran 2. That will add 3 onto the total. And my run of scores of 10 off 3 overs finally ends. Oh, that one's burst through the fielder. It was in the air for a little bit. Isabel Jennings getting away, one felt a little bit with that one. Naomi Matthews just unable to collect the delivery. That's a nice shot. Played over everybody's head and it runs away for 4, and that is a fine shot. I have to say, if you were here 2 weeks ago with us, that shot would have just plugged and they'd have only got 2 for it. This time, nice shot played out away on the offside. It runs out. The boundary fielder will bring it back in. Another single. And that's a good over for Pembroke. The score has moved on to 25 now off 4. 1 wicket down, that of Mary Waldron. She was LBW to Maguire. But at the moment, Lulu Little and Isabel Jennings, well... Well, Pembroke's certainly up with the rate now. They're going over a runner ball. And they only needed 5 and over at the start. You can turn Dougal back up to about 75, 80%. I only realise he's so quiet when I don't hear people's conversations as they walk past. Because they don't realise they're on microphone. Down the leg side. Umpire very quick to signal that one. Oh, he's going to do it again in case the scorer's missed it. I think as the ball bounced, he started signalling that one, and quite rightly too. Nicely just played away. That's all that's needed. Keep out the good balls.
Yeah, we don't need to do, or Pembroke don't need to do anything special here. They just need to bat the overs.
You do get the feeling if they bat the overs, they'll win the game.
Yeah.
The Hills will be chasing wickets. Oh, this one,
that's
nasty bounce before it got to Molly Bottley, and it just popped over her shoulder. And that will let Pembroke take another 2, and they're going to be signalled as wides. So another 3 onto the score. They score on to 29. .75 required. I try not to be one of those commentators that counts down every ball. Some much better delivery, but that close to a pads enables Little just to flick it over square leg umpire's head. They get the single. 30 on the board. Whereas in comparison, it took the Hills until the 10th over to reach 30.
Is it a very big boundary? There weren't very many boundaries scored in the Hills innings.
I think so. I think it is a
I think
decent-sized
it's-
boundary. Now, when you say there weren't any,
No, I didn't say there weren't any. I said
No,
there
no.
were very few.
well, there were very few in the first 15 overs, but then when Marianne Masunda started hitting them straight and Naomi Matthews hit a few,
Yeah.
you know, I think they are big, and that's why the women with the power and timing have managed to find boundaries. That was one there for Pembroke.
I think that might have been 4 byes.
I think you're right. Leg byes anyway. This one dropped a bit shorter. Isabel Jennings onto it very quickly, but just not timing it right, and the ball not leaving the bat with the same urgency that it found it. I think some of the first team still down in the nets practicing.
Probably JP, is it?
Probably.
The 6th innings of the day.
Oh, this one's hit
Oh.
back, and Isabel Jennings again cross-batting. Yes, that is the shot you should have played, and she plays it afterwards, as we often do. But she just cross-back slapped it at the bowler, and the bowler, well, it was a race to the ground, and the ball won. Oh,
Oh. One feels
a
that
lovely
should
shot.
be a no ball. It was terrible. It was very high.
very high.
yeah.
It's a no ball
It's been
4.
called.
It's 5, and it will be a free hit. So 5 off the ball so far.
This is Rebecca Goff bowling.
The umpire's discussing now.
One feels that it might be her second such delivery,
Well,
in which case she has to come off. And someone else, they have to find another bowler to finish Rebecca's over.
well, that is a dreadful shame for the Hills, and dare I say, for the game. I understand why that rule is there. It's well played. Isabel Jennings just able to keep her eye on it. It just was at the right height for her to put away. She picks up 4 for it, plus the no ball, plus they've seen off the number 1 bowler. I do feel that's a shame. And
It is a shame. Well, I mean, she'd only bowled. Yeah, I mean, there was only 1 ball left in a 3rd over, but she still had.
there's still an over to
There was
go.
still an over to go.
They have to find now a 6th bowler for that 1 over. Small discussion between player and umpire. Just on the edge of your screen. And now player talking to captain. That's an interesting question, actually, that nobody asked. If it's a dot ball and a no ball,
Yeah,
the field can't change because you haven't taken a run.
correct.
If you hit a boundary,
Yes.
is the field allowed to change then? Wow, that's a cracking
That's
shot.
a wonderful shot. That's
She
a
came
super shot.
down the track, down onto one knee, and just punched it through mid-wicket, and that is a super shot. Well, that one delivery, bringing forward 9 runs for Pembroke. That is super shot. But yeah,
I'm not sure if my understanding of it is if you have a right-hand and left-hand batsman and they run a single off a no ball, that's why you have the ability to change the field.
whether they run 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
no problem with that. My question is, if you
don't
hit
know.
a 4, is that counting as a run, and therefore the field can change?
Uh,
So if you run a 2,
So so it is. It's because if there's a right hand and a left hand, a right hander and a left hander.
you'd have
So
to be
if
able
they
to change the field.
run 1 or 3,
You have to be able to change
you
the
have
field.
to be able to change the field.
That one goes through to the keeper. There's a big appeal, but there's no noise. I heard no noise. Bowler went up and keeper followed.
It's quite emphatic.
Well,
This is Talia Dunn.
no, I apologise. I read that wrong. It's McBride.
Oh, right.
Lara McBride, she's bowling from the nursery end. That one, she got very close to the edge. This time a bit more width. It's played out. Masunda picks up, throws. It goes wide of the keeper, but the backing up is good. Just a single. But Pembroke's certainly way ahead now. Sure, it was the 12th over before the Hills reached the giddy heights of 44. So Pembroke already about, 6 overs ahead as far as the run rates are concerned. This one clubs straight back down the ground. There'll be no fetching that one. That one's gone the full 52 metres to the far end. And that's a super 4, and that takes Pembroke on to 48 for 1. In this, the 6th over. This is just the power play now. Last couple of balls of the power play. And the Hills have 1 out straight and 1 out on the offside. They've brought in the fielder from deep square leg into the ring. And Isabel Jennings, well, she thought that one was there.
Didn't seem to come up.
No, and that's one of the things you do have to watch out for, is that delivery that just doesn't rise as much as you want it to. See you on Saturday, sir.
You look great there together. You know. It's worthy of Sky, actually. It's wasted on this, really. You know. I think Pembroke had this in the bag. What do you think?
I think
Never
this.
say never, but you know.
Yeah, I think this one.
funny,
They're
yeah.
ahead anyway.
Yeah. I think you have a stronger overall side. I hope I'm not live.
Well, there was a game earlier in the season, a league game that got rained off.
Yeah.
But the Hills came out and batted, and they just blew Pembroke away in that game. And I looked at the lineups tonight, and I thought they'd be a very strong team. And they are a good team.
Are you going to Lords?
Yeah, day 2 and 3.
Peter Tramley said to me half Pembroke will be there. He said,
Oh, it's
why not?
and we don't make anything organised. We don't like each other.
Yeah.
Good night, Philip. We'll see
Tell him that. I'll see you.
see you on Saturday. But it's true, there's no Pembroke travel agency
No.
who wants to go to Lords. It's all individuals doing it themselves. So that's the end of the power play. Score is 49. Well, until we get that stump mic, but that's a glorious shot.
That's
Just
a lovely shot.
pushed down the ground with long levers. It's a great bit of camera work as well. I mean, everything is running in your favour there. Even the fielder. You half expect her to trip over the camera as she goes past. It's that close to it. So 6 overs gone, 49 on the board. Just by comparison, it was the 12th over when the Hills reached 50, and they were 50 for 3 at that stage.
So,
Short, cutaway, I'd say, on the offside. It was a real sort of underslice. If you played that in tennis, it's one of those ones you want to go over the net and then just come back over the net
it'll
almost.
bounce back over the net. There's backspin on it.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
get a single for it. It was in the air, but it was safe enough.
This
And
is-
that's 50 up for Pembroke.
Naomi Matthews bowling. Ooh.
And she's the wicket. And once Lulu missed that, she knew was in trouble. Only a half-hearted effort to get back to a crease. And the score now, 50 for 2, as Lulu Little departs for 12.
It's a good bit of keeping.
It was.
By
Kept her
Molly
eye out.
Butterley.
Kept her eye on it.
Absolutely.
Did everything she needed to. But there it is. You see it here now. Clean take, and that's not easy up above the left shoulder.
No.
Well, it might be easier for somebody of her age, but for my age, it's nearly impossible to get your hands there for that.
She could easily have missed that and it could have run away for 2.
Instead, she collects the stumping. It's great to see youth being given its chance behind the sticks for the Hills.
So incoming batsman Claire Shillington.
Well, very little is known about this girl. Well, there's some sort of discussion about DLS sheets.
I'm not sure DLS is going to come into play tonight.
Yeah,
it's a little bit dark because the scoreboard is quite bright, but I don't think DLS is going to come into play.
Well, Pembroke nearly halfway to their target. 2 wickets down now. Shillington just punches that one in the offside into space, takes the single, knows exactly what she's doing. This time Isabel Jennings, not quite the same experience as Shillington, and she finds the fielder. Another one outside off that Jennings doesn't really move her feet for and has a big swing at. Good evening, ladies. Well, that's the end of the 7th over. 51 for 2 now the score. Mary Waldron is, how many did she get tonight? 12? So 35, 33, 23. Mary Waldron is 23 runs away from 2,500 runs in Leinster senior cricket.
2,500 runs.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Gabby Lewis, 2,300. Oh, JJ. Quick one for you. While I'm commentating, are we still JJ or are we Jonathan now?
Always JJ.
Thank you very much. Just like to check. Claire Shillington, 1,639 runs. Now these figures only go back as far as, oh, I don't know, with the ladies. I wouldn't say too far. Appeal for LBW looked like it was sliding down leg to me, and I think it looked that way to the umpire. 52 for 2. Well, looking at the 11 from Pembroke, you'd have to say there is plenty of batting there, but no guarantee it will fire.
You can say that about any team.
Well, you can say it about the fifths. You can say it about...
Yeah.
But even they're firing this year. A few new personnel in. Do you know they had their first win in 12 games? According to Paul Reynolds.
That was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
They had their second win.
And now they've had 2 wins in the same season and one cruelly snatched away by the weather.
That's a nice shot.
Isabel Jennings just onto that very quickly, swept it out to the leg side
Oh,
boundary.
heavens. That's a good throw in. Direct hit.
But still plenty of batting to come in this Pembroke lineup. And the start that has been given to them, 51 for 2 now off 6. We're in the 7th over. And 53 required from 12 point.
3. Or is that 5?
That's 5.
1.
This here
Oh, right, yes.
tells you how many balls are gone. It's kind of a handy little thing, that is. I can't read any of it, but I can see how many dots there are. Well, that is the end of the 7th over. The first one after the power play. The field wasn't exactly spread everywhere. Dog gone back home now. It looks like it's Miller time. Although I don't think Brian would ever drink Miller. Even if he was in Milwaukee.
Was that a maiden over?
Do you know, it just might have been.
Could have sworn there was runs there, but...
Naomi Matthews now will bowl from the St John's end.
Oh no, it's 53. It was 2 off it.
And Isabel... Well, the first ball is a full toss. It's played out to deep square leg where the fielder comes in and collects it. And there's a single there. Shillington, just that 1 run where she got off her first ball. I don't know if she's faced any more than that. No, she's faced 2. Oh, this one's pulled down. Claire just, again, plays it into a gap. Sets off, picking up 2, and in fact picking up the boundary, and that is a lovely boundary. Again, not trying to overhit it. Played for the gap, played with timing, and the ball did the rest. It just ran and kept running until it found a rope it could just hop over. Nice boundary. Pembroke now past the halfway mark. And again, plays it in the gap between the fielders. Finds the boundary rider this time, just picks up a single. Score moves on to 55. And DL has gone up on the board now. Pembroke's score at the end of this over would need to be in excess of 42. And as they started it in excess of 42, they're doing all right. The only thing that can stop Pembroke now is a clatter of wickets, I suspect. What do you think?
Yep, absolutely. It's
Again, Shillington just playing out to the offside. Gave herself plenty of room that time, but just found the fielder. This is the quietest, smallest train we'll see all night. 3 carriages. Well, this one's pulled down short.
Ooh.
It bounced twice, and it's signalled as a no ball. And a free hit. Well, Claire will like that. Pembroke have now reached 60. Just 44 required. Another one that's short. She puts it in the air. The fielder will get there. It slips through her hands, but as it's a free hit, no concern. Fields it, brings it back to the bowler. But can't stop them picking up 2, and that's the end of the 9th over. And the score has moved on to 62 for 2. Well,
that's over. Yeah, Clontarf were 29 for 3. Not Clontarf, sorry. The Hills. What game am I at?
just nipping across the Eastlink Bridge, Alfie Byrne Road, Castle Avenue.
I think Clontarf at NYM.
I don't know why you said Clontarf.
No idea.
Perhaps it's the colours.
Clontarf for NYM.
That's hit straight back down the ground, but there'll be no single there. It's hit straight to the fielder. Clean bit of fielding. 62 for 2. Scoreboard stubbornly says 8 overs. We know the truth. It's 9 gone, 9 point.
This who's the bowler? Is it?
I think they may be having slight difficulty with the live scoring at the moment. The score is 62 for 2. I think they're going backwards and forwards. They've got Naomi Matthews bowling there at the moment, and we both know that's not right. Oh, that's well called through.
Yeah.
Puts Jennings back on strike.
No, put Schilling.
Oh, no.
Schilling.
Schiller's on strike.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought that was the last ball of the over. That's why I said
All
that.
right.
Shows how wrong I was. Ah. Do, 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 do. That ball had a nice flight on it. It just dropped down towards Schiller's feet. She just played it out. No need to do anything risky. Just 42 now required off 10 overs in effect. 10.4. Well below a runner ball. Well below even the starting run rate of 5 and over. Oh, this one's gone in the air. The fielder's underneath it. Oh, it's just fallen in front of her. I think it may have caught a finger the way she's shaking her hand. Well, that may be the chance that the Hills were looking for. Pembroke had a couple themselves early on, but did crawl and drag themselves back into it by taking other wickets. It's handy having the button, isn't it? Well, that's just dragged out to square leg. Another single. And that will be the over. And at the halfway stage, Pembroke have reached 65 for 2. Isabel Jennings has moved on to 20. Claire Shillington, well, inobtrusively, 8 more runs. Well, I'm waiting for the scoreboard to update and update with the DL figure. Less than 40 runs required now by Pembroke and 10 overs to get them in. Required rate 3.9. For those speed reading of you. Well, she managed to get enough bat on that to push it down. That long on has come in and picked it up. And just they've got through for the single.
Isabel's timing just seems to be slightly off, but I suppose that'll come the more she plays. The timing will come.
Absolutely. The more time in the middle, the better. And the good thing is that she's managed to get to 21 and is battling through that missed timing.
Yeah.
She's taken care of her wicket. She's put a high price on it. And you'll just find that there'll be one ball she connects with right, and that'll be it. Shillington punks that one out. Mary-Ann Masunda, well, fine piece of fielding, definitely kept it to a single. Shillington looking for cow corner, looking for the entrance to the car park.
Yeah.
Found Mary-Ann Masunda there in her way. That's a good length she's bowling. And she's getting good dip on the ball as well. It's not just line and length. She's getting... It looks like it's going to be a fuller ball than it is. This one goes down the leg side. Umpire doesn't signal wide. I thought I heard a noise, actually, as it went past the bat.
There was a noise, a slight noise. I don't know if it was...
If the batsman was more my age, I'd say it was just a creaking bone or...
It could have been a hip or something, you wouldn't know.
hip dislocating. But for Isabel, I suspect there was a little bit of bat on it, and the umpire didn't give it as a wide. This one's short, and Isabel's on it quickly. She's found grass.
She's also found a fielder.
A fielder with an arm.
Yeah. I have to say, the standard of fielding is actually quite good. The ability that they have to throw the ball
And the
a
distance.
fair distance.
Yep. It's
I mean,
obviously-
gone are the days where there was one or two on the arm, or they do relay throws or whatever. But no, it's brilliant.
I feel, and I don't think I'm alone, although I feel it. I know. I feel that the standard of cricket, of women's cricket, has gone up tremendously in the last 4 years.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Well, the Super Series has a lot to do with it because you get to play on a different team with different people who have different ideas, and you possibly get to field in a different position than you would do for your club. So, it's good in that respect.
Well, Marianne Masunda now coming on to bowl from the nursery end. Now, fires that one down, and Shillington was quick onto that one outside the off stump, but on this occasion, with the increase in power came the decrease in accuracy, and she actually found a fielder this time. And this time, less power,
2 is the call.
but steers it past the fielder. And Claire Shillington testing her own hamstrings there. And the score moves on to 72 after those two. And I apologise to James Cresswell now. Another one dragged down short. And again, just played to the fielder, but it's gone through that fielder. The boundary rider has to come round. And they just take a single this time. Well, nicely played. Isabel Jennings taking no risks, and that's what's got her to 23. She's doing a fine job for her team tonight. Isabel came in second over.
She would have come in the 7th.
No, Claire came in then
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Yeah. Well, then she would have come in
on the second over.
second over.
She's been out there for 10 overs. She has provided a mainsail for the ship Pembroke as it sails through these choppy waters.
So,
Pembroke going along at a runner ball.
oh,
Well, that was unfortunate. Just getting a length wrong there, clearing the batsman's head. Wicket-keeper unable to deal with the late bounce.
Oh, there wasn't a bounce. That was the problem. Went over the wicketkeeper's head, didn't it? Went over everybody's head.
And that's
And that'll be another free hit.
a free hit, a no ball.
And they ran 2.
They ran 2, so they've got 3 off the ball so far. And if she does it again, she's off.
Correct. That was okay. That was dipping, and that's gone for 4.
That's a super shot. Really nice shot. Picked her spot. Score goes up to 79. And suddenly the finish line is as close as that scoreboard seems. Very bright, the scoreboard now. After such an afternoon as well, I was watching the weather all afternoon thinking, oh, it's going to be lovely. Sun shining. Pleasant summer's evening. Tara O'Brien, the bowler. And Shillington was onto that straight away. It was on her legs, down on one knee, and pulled it right round to the crowd. Good crowd in tonight, obviously helped by the addition of tag rugby. Another one for Shillington to get hold of. It's going to fall short of the fielder, and it will just be a single.
Again, it's a good arm.
3 gone in the over.
Huh?
Nicely played away towards the leg side. Again, the boundary rider will come round and the score will move on to 81. Just 23 required now for victory. Merrion game must be over. Eddie Lewis on the ground. For the AGM.
Eddie may have been here for the AGM, yes.
But I didn't see him walk past us.
Oh, that's true.
Well, it hit pad, but I think it was well down the leg side. It's the end of the 13th over. The score has moved on to 81. Claire Shillington has slipped along to 17. And Isabel Jennings, well, she's on to 24 now. There's the Hills bowling card. Not a huge amount of success in there. Just those 2 wickets to fall. One going to Amy Maguire. And the other one going to Naomi Matthews. And those are the only things I can read at that size without my industrial Coke bottle glasses. There's the Pembroke card. Well, Mary Waldron fell for 4. Captain Louise Little, 17?
No, I think it's 12. Oh, 12 maybe?
I don't know. It's tiny, isn't it?
Isabel Jennings, 24, and Schiller's on 17.
Well, I hope it looks bigger on your 55-inch widescreen smart TV. So, Amy Maguire now. It's in the air. Masunda takes the catch. And the innings of Isabel Jennings comes to an end. Well, she scored 24, and she's done a fine job for her team tonight. She's put them in a winning position here. There are still 6.5 overs to go. 41 balls to get just 23 runs. Here it is. You can see not much footwork at this stage. Slaps it away in the offside. And then just waited for the inevitable. From this angle, you see Marianne.
It was. She caught it all. Oh, yeah.
Down at her knees.
It was a good catch. It seems straightforward, but they're difficult to take.
It's when you're moving.
Yeah.
Makes it very difficult. Well, Isabel Jennings came into a good round of applause. And
Hannah Little is the incoming batswoman, batter.
bat,
Bat.
according to the CI guidelines.
Okay.
There's no third man anymore. It's just third.
Really?
Yep. There's no man of the match.
It's player of the match.
Yeah. And quite right, too. That's the way it should be. Well, Hannah Little has taken her guard. She's had a look around. And now she's ready to face Amy Maguire. She's picked up her second wicket. And would seem to be the Hills' best chance. But this one has gone round on the leg side. Claire Shillington is very alert to those. Takes the single. Gets Hannah Little off the mark. Well, you get the feeling that the Hills are throwing everything at it now. Amy Maguire, their best bowler so far.
How many has she bowled?
Can't work out if that's 2 or 3. This one, well, it went down the leg side, but then turned back. So it went behind the bat and off to the right of the keeper. Over her shoulder.
Oh, it's been called with a wide, so that's an extra 3 to the total.
And suddenly it's below 20 required.
This is Amy's third over.
Well, she has been the pick of the Hills bowlers today. They're unfortunate. And their opening bowler had to come off for bowling too many no balls. This is going to be another wide.
Another 2 to the total, 87.
That one turning away past the edge. Faster ball pushed through. Didn't really work out the way the bowler wanted. Pembroke take the single. Last ball of Amy Maguire's third over. She's had a couple of loose deliveries, but she's also had some absolute jaffers. It's just getting that more consistency. More consistent. Greater consistency.
That is slapped away to the boundary.
Oh, that's
Despite the best efforts of the fielder.
4 more.
4.
Score moves on to 92 for 3 from 14. Pembroke well ahead of DL, well ahead of the game, and they just require 12 more now from 6 overs. If it takes them 6 overs. And there's the 4, just absolutely slapped away on the leg side. 4 more runs. Tell him to get his cursor off the middle of our pitch, please. There you go.
Thank you. I kept thinking there was a fly stuck on the screen.
I thought Noel was telling them where to pitch it. So Amy Maguire now 2 for 23 off her 3 overs. And I think there can be little doubt that they will bowl her from this end, this nursery end again next over. They need to break this partnership. They need to get rid of Shillington, really. Claire Shillington's wedding's coming up soon, isn't it?
It is. It is the June bank holiday weekend.
Nice.
Same weekend as the test.
She's got to catch it.
What was that appeal for?
I think it was for caught behind.
But,
I think I heard an edge. I think the umpire didn't signal byes.
the umpire.
I just think that Molly didn't collect the ball behind the
No.
sticks.
Okay.
Well, just to remind you, the next broadcast from Sydney Parade is this Saturday,
Well, that's well fielded.
using all of her body and her face. Yes, this Saturday we'll see the first semi-final of the Alan Murray Cup and the final. The second semi-final is being played in Merion, and that's between Merion and Balbriggan. That'll be a tough game. And here in Sydney Parade we have Railway and...
I thought it was Balbriggan and Railway, and then Marion and someone else.
You could be right there.
Balbriggan and Railway, Marion and the Hills.
There you go. Two tough games.
Yeah.
There'll be good competitive cricket here on Saturday at Sydney Parade. So if you can't make it in person, you know this will be on the Cricket Leinster YouTube channel. Cricket Leinster are providing coverage of those two games here at Pembroke. I don't know if they're covering the semi-final in Merion.
I wouldn't have thought so.
No, not you.
But
I
is the
wonder-
game
I
being
wonder
covered?
If Merion were still streaming anything.
I don't think so, but they may have something in place for Saturday. Who knows?
Well played again, just played out in the offside. There's no problem there. That's the over done. There's only 10 required. There are 5 overs to go. They picked up the 2 and over they required from that over. Well, it's still quite bright up there. Once the clouds are breaking, you do get a bit of brightness comes down. I think it's brighter now than it was 20 minutes ago, just judging from the scoreboard.
It's not any warmer.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Now, who's going to bowl this over?
Well, when the Hills work it out, I'm sure they'll let us know. Oh, Naomi Matthews coming in from Cow Corner, being replaced by Marianne Musunda. Well, the Hills captain running out of options. She's got to bowl her best now.
Well, it's not easy when you've lost a bowler.
No, and
I
especially
know they only had one over to bowl,
put that one over.
but
just,
that one over it does sort of mess everything up. If you have a plan in your head.
Now Matthews has only bowled 2 so far, so we expect her to bowl 2 of the 5 to go. Well, this one's hit out for a single, up to mid-off. Naomi Matthews bringing another one into the ring. Only 3 outside the ring now, 1 covering the offside boundary and 2 on the leg side. Nobody straight. Wow. That was everything.
I think Claire would be telling her to just nudge and nurdle a single.
No point in taking any unnecessary risks at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
A couple of red inkers are what you're searching for. 10 runs. 9 runs now. 8 runs now. Sorry, I said I wouldn't do a countdown, but when the runs disappear that quickly. One because of my miscalculations and one because of the wide. Lifted into the offside. Just teasing the fielder. It landed just 3 or 4 feet in front of her. As Pembroke close in on 100. Good ball for Matthews. This is good stuff. She's forcing the bats to put pace onto the ball. If they want to hit it, they're the ones who have to put pace onto it. There'd be no nurdling down to third for a couple. And then she strays down the leg side. It's another wide, another one onto the total. Pembroke well ahead on DL now. Wide again.
Yeah, she just seems to be pulling it
It's a lack
down
of
that offside. It's
a lack of practice, I think, more than anything else.
quite possibly.
Just getting into that rhythm, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a better ball, and
It's the one that disappears for a couple.
gone for 2.
And that's 100 up for Pembroke now. 100 up in the 16th over. And now Pembroke just 4 runs away from victory and a place in the second round of the Sprint Leinster Senior Cup. That's a very good ball to end that innings. That over. 100 for 3 after 16, and you're going to have to write down another number.
I put 1,003. I don't think that's no.
Well, the scoreboard not yet updated.
Yeah, who's this coming on that end? It's not. Is McBride bowled out? Or is it Amy?
Amy Maguire
Amy
to bowl
Maguire.
her 4th. Well, as I said, there's no point leaving overs of your best bowlers
No.
at this stage. 4 wanted.
What are you saving them for?
Shillington.
Just the one.
Three more required.
Oh. Seems to be a discussion about. Oh, she's
Just bringing long on up to mid on. And then fires one down the leg side. Well,
wide.
I think the number of extras has been a big factor in this game. But overall, I think Pembroke have had more contributions from more players. The Hills very reliant on Miss Under's 54, and a fine innings it was too. But there was nobody who could play with her or around her. And 54 out of 103. Well, nobody on the Pembroke side has really gone big tonight, but everyone's got 10s, 20s.
There's a distinct lack of calling out there
Well,
in relation to the runs. Perhaps they're just doing it very quietly.
telepathically.
Yeah.
It's like that look you can give your mate who's at the bar already that you want another drink. This one just played out in the offside. There's no problem here.
Nope. I think one ball left in the over.
Well, this has been a fine spell from Maguire. It's been testing circumstances for her tonight, but she has done very well. And that's a fine spell. She ends up with 2 for 25. And as I say, best of the Hills bowlers. Well, who thought it would have gone to 18 overs?
Yes.
Now, Marianne Masunda bowled the last over from this end, didn't she?
No, Matthews did. She bowled a very tidy over. Masunda's only bowled 1 over, I think.
Seven bowlers used today.
Yeah.
Is this
So,
an 8th?
T. O'Brien,
No, she's already bowled.
Tara.
2 overs for just the 10 runs. Well, she gets to bowl from the nursery end this time.
Ooh,
Very Anna
that one
Bealish.
kept low.
We watched the way her arm comes over here.
Yeah.
You can see she's pushing it through and it will just skid. Very effective at times. I'll tell you, on a drying pitch or a damp pitch, it should be devastating. A lot of shoulder work goes into it. Well, there's the experience of Shillington shining through. Just drops one down on the leg side, takes the single, moves her on to 25. Hannah Little, well, she's moved on to 5, and the scores are level now.
I suspect this girl may have been coached by Susan Bray.
Yes, it's got that very whippy arm action.
Yeah, exactly.
Perhaps Susan Bray would go out to the Hills and going down leg.
And,
It's a leg bye, and that's enough. That's the game, and that's the end of this first round clash in the Sprint Leinster Senior Cup. And Pembroke win by 7 wickets, having restricted the Hills to 103 from their 20 overs. Pembroke have gone out and got 104 with the minimum of fuss. It's taken 3 wickets, and it's taken them 17.3 overs to get there. And Pembroke will now await to see who they get in the second round of this cup. But that's the first hurdle cleared. And the Hills, well, they were handicapped when one of their bowlers was taken off for too many no balls. And one has to say, the slow start they got off to as the Little sisters opened the bowling for Pembroke and kept them at the power play 21 for 2, and at 10 overs 36 for 3. And it's that sort of slow start, whereas in comparison in the power play Pembroke were 49 for 1, and that is a big difference. Double the Hills score, and it broke the back of the challenge. And once Pembroke got past 50, it was just a matter of time. One felt that the Hills weren't going to take another 7 wickets, and if Pembroke were to bat 20, they'd get home safely. Good game, Amanda.
yes, enjoyed that.
Do you enjoy the commentary?
Yeah. Don't think I added a huge amount, but, you know.
Well, Pembroke now out in the field. They'll be collecting fielding circles and putting out signs.
No covers tonight.
Isn't
I
that?
suspect.
I suspect that's good news. There's the Hills card, 103. they got for 7 in their innings. And as you can see, I can't, but you
There
can.
was only nine extras.
9 extras, but that big knock of 54 from Marianne Masunda.
Yeah.
And not too much playing around her there. Good bowling from the Pembroke side. Is that 2 for Anna Beale?
Yep, 2 for Anna, 2 for 17, and Lulu Little 1 for 12. I think off her 4 overs.
And Zoe Bell with the wicket of
And absolutely,
Marianne Masunda. That made a big difference at the time.
The big difference here has been the extras. Clontarf gives 34. No, why do I keep saying Clontarf? It's the Hills. 34 extras.
And we conceded 9 in 20 overs.
Yeah.
That makes a big, big difference. 25 runs.
So Eddie Extras was the top scorer. Edwina
Edwina
Extras.
Well, it
So,
allowed Pembroke to only require 70 runs off the bat. And they got to those quite handily. The Hills bowling, well, you can see Rebecca Goff, she didn't complete her 3rd over. And that caused some problems for the Hills captain as to how to fill that gap. She tried a few, but overall...
Amy Maguire, 2 for 25. And Naomi Matthews, 1 for 17 off her 3.
Well, I feel sorry for Dunn, actually. She came on to bowl that one ball that Rebecca Goff had left. It got hit for 4.
Yeah.
And then she comes up with an economy rate of 24 and over. It's most harsh. There's the match summary. There's the result. Pembroke triumphant in their first cup game this year. Well done to the 11. Our next broadcast will be a Cricket Leinster broadcast on Cricket Leinster's YouTube channel on Saturday for the Alan Murray Cup semi-final and final being played in Pembroke. On Sunday,
Sure, who's here on Sunday?
there is a Super Series game that will be covered by HPV Studios. I think that might even be in Oak Hill or Eglinton. I can't remember which.
Is that
But
you?
it will be... No. It will be on ICC TV, as are all of Cricket Island's games in the Evoke Super Series.
I think our seconds are playing a Tulane Cup match, which is the T20
On Sunday?
Cup on Sunday. They're playing Rush.
I do believe there are 2 T20s on the ground on Sunday.
Well, the first one is 2s against Rush at 1 o'clock.
And at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, I'm not sure.
Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, brilliant.
False alarm from my end, which I didn't get. I couldn't see anything, I didn't hear anything. Ball went straight in front of me.
As you say, you umpire as the game as you see it.
Miss Masunda, it looked like a stumping, but it was a caught behind.
Okay.
Because we saw your finger going up and thought he wouldn't give a stumping.
Definitely a catch.
Cameraman noticed that one. So thanks very much for that. Hope you enjoyed it.
I'll see you on Saturday.
We'll be here again on Saturday.
It's the 4s against Leinster at 5 o'clock.
Excellent. Thanks very much for scoring. And at this stage then, myself and Amanda will bid you a fair night, and hopefully you'll join us either on Saturday, maybe on Sunday, or maybe next week for another game of Thursday night cricket. And what a fine win that was for Pembroke. Thank you very much, and good night.
Good night.